Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. It's Thursday, the best night in car audio, if you ask me. I'm your boy Hi-Fi. This is your guy Dean.
Hey.
And if you're gonna say, "Are you tired, Hi-Fi?" You look tired. Guess what? I'm tired. And I'm congested again with freaking allergies. So
Did you take a Zyrtec at all or any?
I typically take it as the summer ends. It's beginning of summer and end of summer,
Right.
but I have not done that. So I've brought this upon myself.
Yeah.
This is what I asked for. This is what I received.
Yeah. I travel with my I got my backpack, as we call them, man packs,
Yeah,
and along with all the laptops and iPads and cables and crap, there's a bottle of Zyrtec.
yeah,
Because you just, man, I'll be at work and it'll be like I'll blast a radio. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Walk over and pop a Zyrtec.
Dude, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take
No,
much.
no.
And I'm a loud sneezer too. I don't intentionally want to be like this, but
Oh,
I just am. I am.
no, I'm always trying to, like, blow it out my ears or eyeballs
Yeah.
pop out of my head or something like that. It's like, oh, hold on. Oh, I'm good.
Right.
Or you blast and it just, you're like, seriously? Oh, you can't, it just goes all over your glasses and you're just like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Like, what happened? I'm done for the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's
So
up,
man.
Danny? Oh my gosh. For DTS.
Whoa, what's up?
Danny, my homeboy. It's funny because he's from Ohio, but I always say he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
And he was one of the competitors in the 12-volt clean wire challenge at Master Tech, and he's like, Dean, man, come on, man, I'm in Ohio, bro. And I went, no, you'll be in Michigan. Come on, man, I'm in Ohio, man. But he's a super cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any chance we get, we try to hang out. It's always hard though. It's like, yeah, it's always funny, because people go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you sleep for?
Chicago. Okay, Chicago, whatever. Damn you, Dean, it's Chicago. Okay, so it's Chicago, Ohio, Chicago.
Always.
It's up there by the Great Lakes somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Just be lucky. He's gonna call me bro.
Yeah. Andy, turns out I lied about that. So we had a show this weekend,
Yep.
local,
Okay.
and during the live stream, well, I thought I blew the Solo X. I was giving demos, and man, I was not taking it easy at all.
My
We're
God.
going we're going in. We're just going in, right?
What were you powering it with?
The Sound Cube 3000, right?
Okay.
So it's a 3000 watt. It's a just
Right.
it's basically like a 10 amps HD 3000.
Okay.
Oh, you're not fuzzy anymore.
Yeah, I just
No, but so it after about 10 or so demos, hardcore demos, it crapped out, man. And I was like, dang, the freaking Solo died on me. My first thought, I feel it like you can smell the coil, but you can always smell the coil, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
The
yeah,
coil,
yeah.
and I could tell the coil's fine. I was like, it's probably a mechanical failure. Because seeing all the ones that Derek's blew up, those were all mechanical failures. The coil didn't fail.
Right.
And so that's what I thought. Well, I took it apart. I was like, I'll just do a video and we'll kind of discuss what happened. And this thing's fine. Like, it's
What was it?
absolutely fine. I blew the amp.
Oh,
I can't confirm that yet because I haven't messed with the amp since then. But this is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this.
I mean, not to pick on the esteemed Power Cube brand of amplifiers. I'm clearly out of my genre. But I mean, what are we talking? $150 amplifier?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And it's rated for 1 ohm mono.
Yep.
I have been running at half ohm mono for a month.
Oh, it's definitely the woofer.
Right. And that's what I thought, that's what I thought. And because that thing the other amp has been taking a beating.
Yeah.
On my mind, I'm like, okay, the woofer.
Yeah.
And no, the amp.
Definitely not the $1,000 woofer. It's the
Yeah.
$150 amplifier. Yeah, you beat the crap out of it.
Yeah. So James was there. He got the demo, and I think a lot of people were shocked that haven't heard of Solo X. You can daily it. I'm not going to call it a sound quality woofer. It's not. No. But it'll play music in their recommended box. But
listen, a daily driver is just. I don't judge people for what they listen to. Like, I just got done with the car, and the guy came back, and we were listening to it, and he's playing his music, and I'm like, I can't listen to this all day long. You know? But there are people that can. So yeah, I mean, if basshead games are what you play all day long,
yeah. Well, I was actually playing SQ demos with it. So this is what I was doing when I was showing people. I was showing people. I have an SQ demo playlist, the same one that they use a lot of Ayaska.
Oh yeah,
I played that.
Right.
And be like, okay, now do you want to hear what it really sounds? What it can do?
Yeah.
Then we went into the super heavy demos.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, that's typically what I do when I demo a system. Is I'll play the foo-foo-y stuff, and ooh wow, because honestly, most of the time the subwoofer is not the thing that we're putting in a car that's like, oh my god, like you got to hear this. It's
right.
Like, oh, and by the way, you need subwoofers, which is so strange, but most of the systems we install, it's oh yeah, and by the way, you need a subwoofer.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? I don't know, a couple tens. Sure, we'll throw those there. I just don't want it to sound like I'm bouncing down the street.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. It's like the person that's like, I would lift weights, but I don't want to look totally jacked.
Yeah. Or the guy that always says, "You run? Why? Was somebody chasing you?" Yes.
Always. Yeah.
Yes. Myself. I'm much harder than you'll ever be. So, yeah. But the woofer's cool. That's good.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a different crowd. At a show, I think they had an S2 or an SQ contingent there, but it was mostly a bass show. So people were wanting to check them out, and I got to hear some dude some of the loudest, not subwoofer cars, speaker cars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just impressive. Like, I don't want to stand directly in front of it, but I like listening to it at like a 45-degree angle.
No. So like Danny said, I don't want to shake windows. These guys want to cut it. Just the tweeter, just cut the glass.
Exactly.
I like it. It's kind of like when you walk in front of the tweeters and they just kind of like bitch slap you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, or it's like the Tron laser bikes.
Yeah.
Like you walk in front of it, you just get destroyed as you walk in front of this very narrow array of just, and I love it. I think it's great. Like, Fernando and I'll be walking around one of these, and he'll just be like, "You're an idiot." I'll be like, "Dude, this is the best." And I'll just be in front of it, just getting hammered, and he'll be off to the side shaking his head. I'll be like, "What?"
Well, I was talking to dudes like, listen, this is super dope, but I'm not standing directly in front of it. Like, I want to hear it from this angle.
Yeah, no, but you can't appreciate it without just getting your flesh ripped off.
Oh, well, you got to, I mean, unless you go in front, and some of them are going to hit you in the front too. So
yeah, no, I just want to feel it, just like, and then just move off to the side.
Like a little bit of pain. It's still
it's like walking in front of the fire hose and then walking away from the fire hose. It's like
So there was a couple of those that were pretty fun builds, and I'm gonna tell you, they were just hammering them, dude, the whole day.
I like that. That's the thing I miss about like 90s shows.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, that's what you did. You just played them all day long. You just beat the shit out of it until the batteries went dead or the speakers caught on fire.
Yeah.
And we don't do that anymore. And God, if you go to an SQ show, like a couple we've been to, you wouldn't even know it was a stereo show.
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody standing around the parking lot? Is there a cook-off going on somewhere? I mean, oh no, we got a sound show going on here.
Yeah, I know. It's like that. I love going to SQ shows, but it's like double Dutch. Like, I'm waiting on because they're getting judged. They don't want to demo before they judge, right? Because you don't want to blow a speaker or have something happen.
Yeah, of course.
Completely understandable, right?
Yeah.
But I'm here like double, just like, oh man, when can I get the demo? When can I get the demo? And
that's why it was cool when like they had sound offs where like cars that weren't being like when the like Daytona Beach, you know, they'd have the factory cars that weren't getting judged.
Yeah.
So they just play those fuckers all day long until, you know, they gotta turn it down. You gotta fuck off. What? Yeah, we'll get right on. It's like SEMA.
Yeah.
You gotta turn it down. Dude, seriously? We're gonna pull the power to your booth. Your mama's a whore. What? Okay, we'll turn it to the floor.
I forget the guy's name, but I got to sit in a vehicle. And let me tell you, man, this thing was on the verge of making you want to tap out.
Really?
It was stupid intense. I got video of it. I'll put it up at some point, but it was intense, man. And it was not high. It was like 30, 20 hertz, but it was just it was intense.
I'm sure.
It was super low, and it was just, you know, especially like make the jaws do this. Yeah.
Dude, we sat in some dude's suburban truck Tahoe thingy at SEMA, and like Gately's stuff was stupid, but Gately just sits there with the doors open, and it's just like, really? Oh my god! But this guy, we were hotboxing inside of this guy's car, and I look behind me, and I go, oh fuck. And he's just like, y'all strap on for this shit. Here we go. You know, and Fernando, I think, was in the front seat. I was in the back seat with these two dudes that are just going. I go, yeah, how did you bet your morning didn't start out going, oh my God, I'm going to be back in this truck with Dean from 5 Star. Yeah, fucking cool. And fuck, man. He toyed with us. He toyed with us so hard because he was like, you know, do. I'm like, oh, ain't so bad. And then fucking, it was like, that was riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then when that fucker dropped, man, God damn, it's like, oh, I can't breathe.
Right. Oh, that's what I love about the demo guys. Like the guy that gave me the intense demo.
Yeah.
He was giving me at first like 75%. And then he was like, oh, you like that? Yeah. You like that? Like, and then he cranks it up to 10. I was like, Jesus, man.
You know who's a freak about that is Gately's wife.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, oh God, she's one of the coolest people I've ever met, and she's just as much a bass head as he is.
Yeah,
she was doing demos in one, and he was doing demos in the other. And Fernando hopped in the truck with her, and they were chatting it up because Fernando always, it's all the guys, Fernando, and fucking A, man, she's just like, and she's just like, yeah. I'm going, the fuck is going on?
That's what I love about demo people. They're like, I spent $20,000 on this equipment here, and I will blow all of it to impress.
All of it. All of it. That's, I mean, which is 180 of what I say to people. I said, listen, did you hear how loud that got? That's the loudest it will ever play. Learn that sound. I don't care where your volume is at.
Yeah.
This is the loudest it will ever be. If you make it try to go any louder than that, you're going to be back here with blown shit. And I'm going to be like, damn, sucks to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, demo people are a different breed, man. They will blow everything in the vehicle to impress you.
And every part of the vehicle.
Like, right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, run to the store. We need duct tape. The windshield's cracked.
I did see, like the HVAC tape.
Yeah.
So someone's outside door panel. I didn't get a demo of this vehicle because they were kind of busy, but they had HVAC tape on the outside door panel because it was obviously was split,
Yes, because 1/64 of an inch HVAC tape is going to hold it together where the 16 gauge steel failed.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah. Well,
you couldn't see the split no more.
Just put 10 layers of that shit on there.
Yeah.
Invest in a cheap welder, weld it back together.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I love the pro guys that like back in the day would roll up with like bulletproof glass. They just have a hole where you'd stick the mic through and then they dum around it. Yeah. And everyone would just be sitting around. And then the numbers would show up and the numbers would go away. And everyone would be like, what happened? That was it.
Yeah.
Did it make noise?
Yeah.
Couldn't hear it. Yeah.
For sure. I did see a cool video. The Morale kind of integration 8 set.
Yeah,
The shallow mount. That it really was giving me straight up vocal integration vibes.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that is a cool driver that can fit in quite a few vehicles. To have an 8 like that you can fit in a door, I mean, I like that.
So the reason why the 8 even exists in that, from them anyway, because this is the first 8 that they make for car audio in a long time. They make a 9-inch. So the Elate is a 9-inch, not an 8-inch.
Right.
But they make the 6x9, and that's it. We've been bugging them, please, for the love of God, make some more 6x9s. You know, because it's a very common size. And they're like, no. And you're like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
You know, and the Israelis are just like, listen, the Asian market has no use for a 6x9, so we're not going to make one. You guys just, all the 6x9s that they make literally go to the United States. Like, we get them all. They don't go anywhere else in the world. They only come to the United States. So we had to commit to buy every single one that they'll make in order to get the one that we have. Well, it's great, but I mean, at the end of the day, there needs to be other people buying them in order to kind of expand that category. And I always thought it was weird because I'll look at them and go, you realize like Alpine makes like a 3-way 6x9 component set. I mean, like everybody, all the Japanese that you say, and they're like, no, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we can't get these guys won't do it. It's a different market. I'm like, it's literally the same market. You're saying the Asians don't want them, but here they are. So the only thing we could get was the 8-inch, and so they didn't want to release it, but it got, they prematurely put it on the website and was like, okay, well, you kind of got to release it now. And 3 pairs came in the United States first, like they always do, and we got one of them, and then shortly thereafter the rest of them followed. So now you can get it. Now it's available to buy, and at some point, hopefully by the end of this year, you'll start to see brackets for it come from Morel.
Right.
But otherwise, it's like it's we literally made those brackets in like 3 minutes before we shot the video.
And I would expect someone if you're going to do your own install and you're buying a Morel set, hopefully you have the capability to make your own bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it on a router and stuff, but really you just need a jigsaw and you can get it pretty decent.
I mean, you can buy a router for what, $59, and a bit's like $20. So for $79 and some plywood, you can drill a hole, mount your router, and make a router table. I mean, it's
or you can buy the cheap one, the little router. Actually, that's what I use, the little router table that in one.
Screw that! I just have all the little routers take the 24-volt batteries.
Yeah,
dude, I had to actually use a router this week because for that car we just finished, and I had to router out some of the plywood. And I was like, oh crap! I got I got one right here in my mobile solutions thing. Yeah, done. I was like, so we have three of the 24-volt routers.
Which brand are they?
Ours are all Milwaukee because that's all we use is Milwaukee.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
have them now.
Man, I was using before. I have a bunch of Harbor Freight plug-in trim routers, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy the Milwaukee, and I have a 6 amp hour battery to put on it, and that damn thing bogged down where the stupid Harbor Freight did not. Like, this is disappointing. I mean, it just stops and then you have to start and go again. It was a 3/8 inch roundover, and I was just going. I was not cutting no slack. I was just going.
No. I mean, these are spiral cut flush trim bits that I have on it. So I mean, I was going right through the stuff. But I mean, we have 2 router lifts, and then I think it's a Bosch micro router that's mounted into the table. We have a 3rd lift, but we never use it, and I don't think we've even turned it on. I literally bought all the pieces, built it, put it together. It sits on the table. It's over by our table saw, but we can't get to it because we have too much shit that's in front of it all the time. That's kind of where the dyno has learned to grow, has grown into. So it's like, God damn it, need more room.
Yeah, I have so many routers, but the reason is because I hate changing bits.
Oh yeah.
So I have a flush trim bit on the little table router.
Yep.
For when I need to do that, and then I have another one on another small router. I have different sizes of round over bits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, if you go back in time to like when we were doing install diaries like earlier, there was always routers hanging on the wall. So I had, I don't know, 6 or 8 routers that were just chilling out on the wall. And as time has gone on, it's like I brought them home because we don't need them, and they just take up space. So, I think the only router that plugs in that we still have is the one to make holes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'd ever actually use it because, like, even to cut this square out in the top of this plywood, I went over the laser, made a template, and just stuck it on. I was like, I mean, hey, yeah.
Like if you have to use a router, it's going to be messy, even when you're using it on plastic.
Yeah. Well, I went outside too. I just all my routers are Porter cable. I still have I have a brand new one that I've never even turned on. But so I have the old Porter cables that they don't make anymore.
Yeah.
And then I have some Bosch. I have a couple Bosch. But yeah, it's sad. It's so sad about the Porter cable thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was one of the few tools that they were good because they made their drills and all that ended up being crap.
Yeah. But
these were solid.
I think I have their benchtop sander as well.
Yes.
Yeah. With the big 6-inch and the big disc and all that crap. But we traded that out for a 12-inch disc sander, which is way more useful. Takes up less space.
I think so too. I like a 12. You can do a lot with a 12-inch sander.
Yeah, make a lot of dust.
Yeah. Well, and at work we use them because we've had both, but the 12-inch was they bought like a Delta 12-inch and just so much more versatile for this, especially for the stuff we were using.
Yeah.
Like
metal
sharpening and
I just bought the shitty one from Harbor Freight just because the problem is I'll go out and I'll buy a tool and then it'll sit there and it'll look cool and no one will use it and I'll be like, all right, well, I just spent a bunch of money on this tool and no one's using it, so let's get rid of it. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy the crazy one. I want to, because this is like the 3rd or 4th sander we've had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just haven't found the one we like. And I was like, this is going to be the one. I know it, but I'm still going to buy this one for $80.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, I won't feel bad walking it out to the trash can and throwing it away.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of sucks. But no, we've actually loved it. And now it's just a matter of, is it ever going to break? And if it does, we'll buy a better one, but it's probably never going to break.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, the only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have a brake. So when you shut it off, it just sits there and spins until it runs out of.
Oh, yeah.
So it just sits there and goes, and it's like, and so the cool thing about that is every now and then you'll go to test fit something and you come back and it'll still be spinning. You go, and you have to turn it back on and then go back over. It's like,
as long as it's not your finger that you act like, oh, I turned that off, it should be good.
Oh no, it only hurts for a little bit.
Yeah, just okay. This little nub.
Yeah. So what is Dean rubbing off on me? I think I hate doing fab stuff at work. Only want to install. I don't install at my home shop. I don't want to do fab work. It's funny because when I my previous house, I had my garage, like that was the man cave. Like I had a full shop, because it was a 1-car garage, and I was like, yeah, we're not going to park a car in here. There's no way. So it was just workbenches down the side, table saw, bandsaw, planers, every hand tool you can imagine. and they're all, you know, so I come home and I had a TV up in the corner, tube, because this was a while ago, you know, so I'd come home from work and, you know, I'd go out in the garage and then it was like I'd make stupid shit, you know, I had a scroll saw, so I'd do stupid scroll saw stuff. And then Haley was born and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back inside. This is boring. You know, like, I'm gonna go play with the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much you can do with other than shake her and watch her poop, but you know, it's still more fun than this.
Yeah.
So,
My garage is set up like that with benches on the side. I've got I got rid of the table saw because the setup I had built into a table and
yeah,
an off-feed table, and it was just a big monstrosity. It was great for working, but it took up too much room.
Yeah.
And I built a recently.
I got rid of my table saw here because Sue ran into it with her car, put a 6-inch scratch in it, and it cost me $100 an inch to get it repaired.
Yeah.
And that was just my table saw. No, just kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah. So table saw went bye-bye. I was like, son of a bitch. I wanted a new table saw too. And she did that, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not buying. Fuck, okay.
Well, and I haven't built boxes recently at all. Until recently, I built one for a project, and Cassie's now parking her new car in there. She got her car. It's going to go in the garage. She's like, what's all over my car? I was like, that's sawdust.
Yeah.
I was like, I worked with the door open, the fan on, but you know how it is. The sawdust can go everywhere.
Ever.
And she just looked at me and was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't have a good excuse.
Yeah. I just call Sean and say I need this box.
Yeah.
And then he bitches about it, and I got to make 6 corrections to factor in whatever the fuck he just did. And yeah, so Brian Mitchell posted a bunch of old pictures of himself when he was a kid this week, and he had on a Team Extreme t-shirt along with a shitty mustache that I've been pretty much ridiculing him all week with, which has been nonstop fun for myself. So yeah. I haven't even mentioned the shirt because I just can't get past the mustache. You know,
I gotta go look. I did not see this.
No, it's great. And he's like, it's not. And I go, yeah, and your mullet. He goes, I don't have a mullet. My hair. He goes, it was feathered back. And I go,
I haven't heard someone say they feathered their hair in a long time.
We're old. That's what we say. He's older than me. So.
Oh man. I do remember this. So Bruce, on one of his videos, you see him painting. He's painting subwoofer baskets, right?
Yeah.
He's got his garage door open. He's got fans. Like, yeah, I've got it all ventilated.
God.
Towards the end of the video, he's like, goes to his van, the brand new van he bought for his base build, and like,
yeah,
I messed up. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's ever going to finish that, but
no.
Oh wow, that's Dino Jones. Can jail subs be fashion and provide navigation? You know, it's funny you should say that because you know the 4.8s that we just put in this week were JL audios, and so I said to the guy, he goes, "And your Garmin subwoofers are wonderful," and he's like, he didn't get the joke because he hadn't heard yet. I was like, "Oh, you haven't heard?" And everyone always says the same thing. You know, like you guys were talking about it the other night. It's like, wow, I didn't realize Garmin like had that kind of money, and it's like they build boat shit.
Yeah,
like
which I didn't know until Derek said it. I guess he had looked into it as he read the article.
4 billion. Yeah,
it's like, oh, it makes sense if they're doing boat stuff to buy JL. I mean,
you know, if you got $4 billion laying around, okay, or in capital or just in whatever, buying JL isn't even worth bugging someone about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, because even if they paid $100 million for it, or $200 million, or $300 million for it, okay, that's still just like a crazy weekend for these guys.
They don't even got to do stocks options. That's just a cash buy.
Yeah, that's just like, listen, that's like the CEO goes, what? Yeah, I don't care. I got shit I got to do over here. All right. Just whatever. Let me know when you're done.
Well, you know, we being in cardio, we kind of forget that like how small truly compared to like a real company like Microsoft or a
See, but that's
Google.
funny though, because we don't.
Yeah.
You might, but
Yeah.
we don't, because we're in this and we're like, it's nothing, and it's like, because I always have to remind, it's like, oh, we should do this. I'm like, no, like, no, like, you've been jaded. You've been to Kicker, they're still doing dumb stuff every now and then, like making snowman speakers. But I mean, it's like most companies can't do that. Most companies can't. If it's a phone call away that you can get something built, that's great. But if you actually have to design this shit on your own, oh my God, what a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Garmin is huge in everything but cars.
Yeah.
If you think about it, yeah, bikes, watches, aviation, boats, motorsport. If you're lost, Garmin will find you. If you want to go somewhere, they'll get you there. I mean, that was a brilliant company that figured it out, that this is cool, but all this other shit is better. Like, there's roads. If you keep heading west, you'll get to where you need to go. But if you're in a boat, maybe not.
Yeah.
You can't always do that. And if you're in a plane,
Yeah.
yay.
And I can tell you, like, if you've ever been on if you've ever rented a boat, for one, which we just did, they'll give you a map and they'll be like, this is where we're at. These are the spots that are cool to visit when you're on the boat. Come back, look at these signs. This is how you get back to the spot. Sounds very easy. You got a map. Each island has its own number, so you know where you're at.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot harder than it should be.
Listen, I get lost in an apartment complex when I'm looking for, where's apartment F?
Yeah.
You think it'd be by G, H? No. E? No, F's in the back, as in you're F'd. Yeah. No, it's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And Kenwood still uses Garmin, so Kenwood still charges you $400 to have Garmin put into your radio. So
yeah. And
still,
spoiler alert, people are still using in-car navigation.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't get it, but yeah.
Me neither. I have a very good friend that insists on it, and I swear that he insists on it because I hate it so much. That's
no, because listen, people are paranoid for a lot of reasons, right? We can all agree on that. And one of them is they're paranoid in the fact that their phone isn't going to work.
Right, yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, that one time it doesn't work and you need it to, that's when it changes your life. Like, that's when you're going, son of a bitch, $400, huh?
Yeah.
It would have been nice. Oh, well. Has anybody got any signal? Nothing?
Yeah. Well, before, when maps first were on phones and with the early iPhones, they didn't cache it once you started, so you had to have connection the whole time.
But I don't think it's for once you started. I think it's for when you're in some place that you're just you don't have shit and you need to go somewhere, and it's like, where does this road go? I have no idea. I have no signal. All right, well, I mean, I guess we could go on an adventure. I mean, that's what we did in the 80s.
Yeah.
Just went on an adventure. But gas was also 79 cents a gallon. So now when it's $4.79 a gallon, you're going, I think we should walk.
Well, that got us before, because I, at that point, had a TomTom.
Yeah.
In the vehicle, and we were in Manhattan driving. The buildings are so tall that I was not getting cell phone signal, but the TomTom did bring us through.
Yeah. And TomTom / Apple Maps.
Yeah.
Because that's who they use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who thought they'd still be a company? But I'm pretty sure they're rolling in it somewhere.
Yeah. And Apple Maps are actually usable now.
Yeah.
When they first came out, they were horrible.
Oh, dude, every time they'd say, please give us comments, put the freaking exits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why this is so hard, but when I'm scrolling, I want to see the exit number next to where I'm getting off. I mean, I think that's like, no.
We found him. It's RVH. He's funding all this Kenwood nonsense.
Well, no, but for him, he's a truck driver. So
Yeah.
let's be honest. I don't. His vehicle is his office. So having his phone be his GPS has got to suck, because how else is he going to text while he's driving? Keep up with the world if it's telling him where to go. So
Dude, he's got one of them fancy trucks, man. I'm surprised it doesn't have it built right in.
it probably does.
It probably does.
Probably does. Has cruise control and the bouncy seat.
Yeah.
Bunk in the back.
Mm.
Stripper pole.
Lot lizard area seating.
Yeah. No, it's a stripper pole. The lights, pink lights, smoke machine.
Yeah.
We got this one guy that would come in with his, and I'd dread it, because this guy weighed like 3 something.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he would get out of that seat. You could just hear him. Because he was like groaning. It was so gross.
Oh,
it was like, I don't want to touch your car. And it's just.
I bet you get more of that than I'd like to think, of gross vehicles.
So we had a batch of them in the last, once. So the next edit after the 911 is over is yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But we had a car last week, dude. Let me tell you what, man. Fucking. Sometimes I just look at humanity and go, there's just no hope for these people. Bitch shows up with a flat tire, okay, and I don't mean like a slow leak flat tire. I mean like riding on the rim flat tire. And we're like, Paul's like, do you realize your tire is flat? She goes, oh, yeah, it was riding kind of weird. And it was flat. And so one of our friends was there, and he had a tire pump thing. So he pumped it up for her real quick, so that, because we weren't even there yet.
Yeah.
And so we get there, and Paul goes, hey, just want to let you know our tires is losing air. And I go, what does that mean? I don't know. And so then he hands me all the stuff to put in there. We're putting a 212 box in this thing. I open the trunk. And the trunk is full. It's an SUV. It is full. Like we're living out of this thing. I'm only imagining that when she gets a bottle to drink, when she takes the cap, she goes and just watch the cap fly somewhere into the car. Because I picked out, so I had to put gloves on. There was, underneath her front seat was a to-go container. And it had been there a while. And when I touched it, that smell came out.
I'm done. Oh man, I would have been like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, it was so, I cleaned out. I filled the trash can up with shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, so then I vacuumed out the driver's side, because I'm like, I don't have to go on the passenger side. I took all the trash out of the passenger side just for cootie reasons.
Yeah.
And I vacuumed the driver's side, because that's where we were going with the amplifier. And the box, we just folded the back seat down and set the box on the seat, because we couldn't put it in the trunk. There was no way.
Yeah.
And so then we, sure, by the end of the day, the tire was flat, filled it back up. Car sits out front. She never comes and picks it up. I'm like, oh, I'm in Miami. Really? So now we got to drive it back around on a flat tire. Yeah, I'm like, this is cool. And stays the weekend. So then we fill it back up again, pull it back around front. She doesn't come to the end of the day. At this point, there's no air staying in this tire at all. And I was like, so we actually had to take our air compressor outside to fill it up. I'm like, she better be here soon. When you fill it up, we know where the nail was.
Right.
We're watching, and it's right on the side. So it's like right where you can't patch it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like everything about the car sucked. It was like the car, just the people, the owners.
And some people have no shame. Like I could not take a vehicle if I know someone's. It would be to me like going to the dentist. But before I went to the dentist,
you ate a bag of Doritos.
Yeah, or the most onions you can eat, and I didn't brush my teeth, and I didn't floss or anything. Like if I'm going to the dentist, I'm like, you know what? I'm cleaning my teeth before I get there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna eat some Oreos.
Some Oreo. Yeah, just have black everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and this is one of those things where this is an argument between Paul, the owner, and Fernando and I, that it's like this is an hour of our time that we're wasting. Like you don't have like, well, I just I tell them to clean out. Like, no, stop that. So I'm like, here's the new policy that you need to do is that when you go out to check in the car, you say, hey, listen, if you bring your car and it's this messy, it's gonna be $50 extra or $100 extra. I don't care what it is, because
something,
and that's it. Don't tell them to clean it out. Just say, hey, look, if it shows up like this, we're gonna charge $100 to work extra to work on your car. And if they go, why? It goes, because we have to clean your car.
Yeah.
Because it's always the idiot that says, oh, no problem, I'll take care of it. And they take everything out of the trunk and put it in the back seat. And then you go, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Like, put it in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-star tire service. I mean, honestly, I would have been more than happy to put a plug in it, but I can't obviously do it at that. And then the other bad thing is if we plug it and then it was to blow, like when she's driving down the road, then we're responsible for it. So no, it's
definitely have to think
it's
about
that good deed that really bites you in the ass. Going to show the guy, ask if he wants a demo.
I've only had this happen a couple times, only twice I think I've been very lucky because I've heard horror stories.
So there was this guy that had a skin condition.
Yeah.
That his the skin would always flake off. Okay. And he couldn't help it. It's just how he was born. It's just his epidermis just constantly sheds. It's so, but he doesn't clean his car. So he brought it to us to work, and it was just covered in epidermis everywhere. And I'm just like, and I was pissed. No. It was one of the maddest I've ever been at the owner for bringing that in and like going nuts. What am I going to say? Vacuum out your car. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, oh my God. It was so, I was just like, you're going to be sick. Yeah, I don't mind bugs. Like, I can work with bugs. They don't bother me. But, vomit. Oh, gross. Maggots. I've had vomit so bad maggots are crawling in it.
I can't do that. Matter of fact, you know how you get those glands that just you saying that is making that pop up.
Yeah. But it's like if Fernando goes, man, if this is what their car looks like, could you imagine what their house looks like? I'm like, oh, it's probably spotless. Because they put all their shit in their car.
So Cassie had called me. She's like, I need help.
By the way, I just want to say this show has totally just went right to vomit.
Yeah, just exactly. She calls me over. She's like, I need help at my mom's house. So apparently her mom had got bed bugs from a neighbor that they moved into. This was unbeknownst to me, right?
Yeah.
So I come in like, yeah, what's going on? What do I need to do? And I go to sit down and they're like, yeah, we got bed bugs. I stop mid-seat. Like, I'm not touching anything.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here.
I stand up and was like, I'll be back. Like, I did help them, but I suited up, dude. I had a tape. Like,
I don't even know what to do for that. I mean, to me, that's like, is there somebody we can call?
Just burn the house down. Like,
exactly.
That was my first thought. Let's burn the whole house down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of burn your house down, dude, have you seen the Maui fires?
I seen Sue posted something about it.
Yeah. So her aunt lives in Maui, obviously, and her office is there in Lahaina, and it's gone.
Really?
Like that whole downtown. Oh, the whole historic district.
What was it from? What started it?
So typically the Lahaina side of the island is dry. Okay, they don't get a lot of rain there, even though it's like another 100 feet up. It's just a rainforest, but they don't get a lot of rain there during the summer, and so it's just scary. And like when we went there the first time with Haley, the whole side of the mountain was on fire, which was crazy. Wow. I got some great pictures. But there's a hurricane brewing, and so there's 75-mile-an-hour winds that were coming over and blowing the fire that had caught right into the city. And because there were 75-mile-an-hour winds, they couldn't they have helicopters that go up and dump water on them.
just blow it out.
But it just literally turned it into a flamethrower.
Wow.
Yeah, and just took. I mean, dude, the satellite photos I was looking at today, it's like, holy crap! And it's, I mean, total devastation, because it's not like these houses are made out of block.
Right. Yeah.
They're not building block houses in Hawaii. They're building wood houses in Hawaii. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I mean,
I didn't even know. I knew Baba had family, but I didn't know he had it in that area. That's insane.
Dude, I mean, it's insanity. It looks apocalyptic. Like, just watch it. Like, I was watching some videos of guys like trapped in the fire. People were just running into the ocean, because it was like, and not only that, the ocean was on fire because 75-mile winds was just blowing the shit into the ocean, and there was just shit floating in the ocean on fire. The Coast Guard was coming around scooping people out of the ocean, and I'm like, and in my head, I'm going, shit, that had to be like, because that's Tiger Shark Central, man. That's like, they're just chilling, so it's like, fuck that.
Like, you just want, like, either I'm gonna
catch on fire, I'm gonna get eaten by a tiger shark.
Or eat tiger shark. Yeah.
It's like shit, because it's not like you can just like stand. Yeah, Robert Boyd was there too. Yeah, that's yep. And he put up a picture. But oh my god, dude, it's insanity. But like when we were there, we were actually staying in Lahaina, the ocean on fire. It's just bad time.
Yeah, I would agree.
So their first house was in Lahaina, so that's where we were staying, and we had left and went to the inside of the island for the day, and then we were trying to come back and got turned around because the fire was getting close to the road. And you just see these helicopters dropping. They have these big buckets, and they were literally just dropping them in pools, and because the ocean, whatever was fastest, just drop it all over the place. And actually yeah, so that time it caught on fire. I think twice we've been there when there was a small fire, but the big one, the first time I went with Haley, it was a huge fire, like big, like just all the way up the side of the mountain. You just watch this whole line just walking across, and you're just it's like an eraser. It's the weirdest thing ever, and you're just looking at it going, that doesn't even look real.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It probably feels like this is not real. Like this. No. We're chilling here, and the fire's just destroyed.
Yeah, and like you're literally in the car, and you're just looking over, and it's like, there's a fire right there. We should probably turn around, maybe go back, and okay. No. But these guys, I mean, add that to 75-mile-an-hour winds, total devastation.
So what's the situation now? Is it done, or is it still going?
I think most of it's put out, but I mean, because there's nothing left.
There's nothing left to burn.
It's just literally concrete slabs where the houses were. It's all gone. The whole thing. The whole thing is like and the scary part is like that downtown historic district is where all the art stores are. And I mean, like Wayland has a big museum there. Lassen has a big museum there. And like there's probably 10 museums down there. And I know that's kind of trivia because like 36 people or 26 people got killed, which is totally understandable. Right. Plus pets. I'm sure there was lots of chickens that caught on fire because there's like wild chickens all over the place, and cats, and oh my god, like they ain't getting out. I mean, it was just but
that's terrible.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy for sure. Yeah, they sent me a picture of her building, because some of these things have been up forever,
right.
And it's so funny because, and I don't mean that like haha, I just trying to get a permit to paint the outside of your building is like a major pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're like trying to preserve the history of the street and all this other stuff.
And Mother Nature's like F all that.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's all gone. So Front Street is no more.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Mother Nature's brutal.
Oh, dude, she's a mean bitch. That is for sure. Yeah. There's no question about it, man. When your number is up, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, anyways, it's kind of like that segues right into like Tesla's catching on fire, because I caught a couple of those videos this weekend.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I owned a Tesla, I would have a fire extinguisher.
And it's got to be what is the? I don't think ABCD fire extinguisher will work on those. It's got to be the other kind.
Either way, I mean, I just feel like I would I mean, yeah, I get it. You got insurance, but I mean, I still don't want my car just. I mean, it's cool. Like if it catches on fire, you're still gonna have to put it out, and it's still fucked up. But there's no reason to let it just burn to the ground. You know what I mean?
And I know I listened to a podcast where they had a firefighter on talking about EV fires, and so apparently the first thing they do is cut the main lines. They have tools and stuff like that. But he's like, some of them, he's like, there's so much energy that we can't put it out. We just gotta get people away. I was like, that's insane.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, yeah, why wouldn't it be? It's like when those batteries go, man. It's like they're gonna go until there's nothing left.
Yeah,
you just control the area around it and until until it burns off. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I know you've seen a battery catch fire before at some point.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
Yeah. I mean, even the batteries we deal with, which are mostly AGM batteries, we have them pop all the time, overcharging or whatever, or a bent plate got in there. It could be anything, but it's scary every single time it happens.
We were having that discussion today about, imagine Tesla with tear amps. Yeah, no shit, right? Jesus.
Double.
They were, because Fernando was like, would you buy a Tesla? And I was like, no, I'm not buying a full electric nothing.
Yeah.
I'll buy a hybrid to where it's like I could put gas in it and all that other shit.
Where you need to go, yeah.
But I still want my generator with me.
Right.
I don't want to be walking home. Fuck that.
Yeah. I would buy one, but not as a main. It would just be a vehicle that I drove back and forth to work, just because I think they're cool. But
yeah, but still, I mean, like for the amount of money you're gonna pay for it,
it's not practical. I think they're pushing full EVs when really they should be pushing hybrids more.
Yeah,
that's the most practical thing to do with that. Is like, we have the gas, we have the batteries, we can make
and the car can charge itself.
Right, yeah.
Which is more than the wall outlet can do, because we can't keep the air conditioners going right now.
Right. And that, like the Chevy Volt, I thought was a good idea. They had an engine that literally all it did was charge the battery. So it didn't run the wheels.
Yeah.
It charged the battery. And I mean, that's kind of smart.
Yeah. I don't know. Batteries.
So, you certainly can overcharge rechargeable batteries. If you've never seen a battery fire, that's 100% going to happen.
I mean, you need a really good controller to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is a house of cards, right? It's like when I called and talked to Rockford about their fuse. The reason why their amplifier is not a fuse is they have a circuit that's built in there, and they've done extensive testing on it. And they're like, it's 99.98, some silly thing. There's still like a 0.02% chance that it might fail, and so that's enough to put a fuse in. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. But what they're basically telling is, if you're only going to put one amplifier in, then don't worry about it, because you're not having to worry about the two amplifiers talking between themselves. And really, when you put the fuse distribution block in, you're putting those in to protect the other amplifier.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why it's important, because you got, you might blow the fuse, you might get lucky, but even still, you might get lucky.
Right. Like if the fuse blows and your amp doesn't blow, it's usually because your amp has some kind of protection in it to begin with.
Yeah.
They're really there to keep you from burning your car down, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. The fuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the amplifier, so their circuit in the amplifier is in a better location to try to minimize the damage that's done internally to the amplifier. So the idea is sound.
Right.
But like Kicker found out, you should probably still put a fuse distribution block out there, because especially if you have more than one amplifier, and don't make them all 150 amp fuses, because that's dumb.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. But that was an interesting conversation I had with them, because they were just like, huh. how do we answer this?
Yeah, exactly. What
You
a
know,
fuse rating, people think, well, it's a 40 amp. If you're running 50 amps, it'll blow. No, that's not how fuses work. A fuse is like a time rating.
yeah.
So 40 amps at this amount of time, and it'll blow.
Yeah. And the problem is that what they're rating those fuses for, those fuses pretty much don't exist anymore because all the fuses we're buying are made by companies that aren't necessarily rating their fuses the same.
Yeah.
So like if you get a 50 amp fuse from X and a 50 amp fuse from Y, this one could take, this long to blow, and this one might not even blow at all because hey man, we put a strip of something in there.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Maybe a little longer. Maybe not. I don't know. So
Sure, a bunch of those, the cheaper, like the Chinese ones,
oh yeah.
we're getting from everywhere. They're just like, well, what they used to use was this thickness, this width. There was no testing. I'm sure it's just like, well, this is what they used to use.
Oh no, dude. So like Joe was telling me, Kicker did a whole big study on that because they were having some issues with people's fuses, and that's also one of the reasons why these manufacturers that can do it have switched to internally protecting themselves because they can't trust the fuses anymore. So that makes way more sense. It's like, and that's what had to happen. That's why like these big companies don't put fuses out there because it's fine if you use their fuse, but if their fuse blows and you replace it with somebody else's fuse, like that 30 amp fuse might not be a 30 amp fuse to their spec,
Right.
because they're not all created equal. And what they were seeing is that like some of these fuses, like were so far off, it wasn't even funny. It was like that 50 amp fuse is supposed to blow at this point at this time. They're putting 100 amps of current through it before it would blow. It's like that ain't gonna protect shit. You've already done arc welded, and yeah, it's yeah. I mean,
That's kind of what I like about boat stuff. Is it's much more. I'm not like a big regulation person, but it's nice to have standards,
yeah,
like a UL standard. This is a slow blow fuse. It will blow at this amperage at this amount of time, and it should. Now you can still get nefarious stuff in there from other companies, but
yeah. But
most of them, I would say, have to.
your boat, the most important thing for boat is to have an ignition safe fuse.
Right.
So and that is just one that when it blows, it's trapped in a vacuum so that the spark from the blow cannot ignite the air around it.
Right.
It's, otherwise.
Yeah, which means they test these things. There's more than just, it'll work. I don't think people are going around testing regular fuses.
No. And then there again, it's what it is, and then you have ignition safe. So like circuit breakers are the same way. That's why like when you look at the pack catalog, you have the marine ones and they're yellow, and those are ignition safe breakers.
Yeah.
And then you have the shitty red ones that aren't. So if you just throw any old breaker in the back of a boat and it pops, and that just happens to be where the gas fumes are, there was a mob hit.
Yeah. Right.
So it's, and there again, like we love the clean wire boat stuff, but there's a process to like, some people don't understand, like, you want the wire to come out of the amp and loop because what you're trying to build is a place for the humidity to pool.
Right.
So like you don't want it to come out, make a sharp turn and up. You want it to come down, and you don't want anything below the wire. So you need like a drip point for just the humidity that it's going to be attracted to plastic. So there's a lot of stupid little things. So like when Kicker came out with their new line of marine stuff, I got on the phone with the guy that handles that. And I was on the phone with him for about an hour, and he ended up emailing me the book, and I read it, and it was like, I'm pretty sure 99% of the people that put shit in boats have no freaking clue what they're doing, because I know, just because I see it in the pictures, and it's like the amount of stuff you're supposed to do to properly install stuff in a boat. Ain't nobody doing that shit. Yeah, I don't even think half the time the manufacturers of the boats are doing that shit.
you're probably right. Like, I don't know what because I've never owned a boat, so I don't know what the boat. If you're just like a car audio enthusiast, you might think, oh, it's the same thing. When really they have so much other stuff that you have to factor in.
Yeah. It's a lot of silliness. It's a lot of silliness. And that's why our class is so much fun at Knowledge Fest. Because people always go, I already know all this shit. I said, all right, we'll sit down. Tell me at the end.
Right, yeah.
They always go and go, how you have me? I was like, hey, man, you know, it's yeah, you know, gotta figure this stuff out. But, well, hey, that was the show, man. Wasn't that fun?
Oh, yeah.
We managed to make it through. I think I lost my voice.
Yeah, you might have. Listen, we have 2 weeks to recover, though.
Oh, we're off next week?
Yep, we're off next week because my fault. Off the week after that because your fault.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Hey, it's fine with me. I got so much crap I need to do. All right, well, 2 weeks off is fun. I guess we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Hey, if anybody is in Dallas on the week of the 24th, that's a Thursday the 24th at 12 in the afternoon, we're going to be at Jay's Tent. It's going to be me, Fernando, Brian Mitchell, Andy Waymeyer, Jacob Waymeyer, Jeff Smith, and Phantom Chris, Mel, Matt's Mel, as we call him now, along with a ton of cars to listen to. Oscar is going to have his Tesla there with the Morel system in it. There'll be stuff for you guys to listen to, food and all that. That's Dallas, the 24th, Texas, 12 o'clock noon and up. If you can make it, come on out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's open to anybody who can come because he's a retailer. So it just happens to be the day before Knowledge Fest. And we're all going to be there. So we're going to have a party.
Totally wish I wasn't taking vacation week before. Otherwise, I would take a day off and come down there. It sounds like a blast.
I'm hoping, you know, we had it was a small event last year. Like we didn't really talk about it much.
Yeah.
And so just a bunch of like industry guys showed up and I got to meet somebody who works at MTX and made a great contact there. It's really cool. And
I'd be like, oh, dude, you still make stuff?
Yes. And he was like, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I had fun. When he did that to me, I said, wait, who do you work for?
Yeah.
And then the next day he was like, hey, Dean. I was like, oh, he went and watched our videos. I know that look.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, so if anyone's there, stop by, say hi. If not, stay tuned for the lives.
Yeah.
Because there'll be lives.
There will be lives.
There will be lives, and there'll be Chick-fil-A lemonade ices or whatever they're called.
I would go for the peach shake.
Dude, the peach shake is bomb ass. But you know what's even better? The peach shake mixed with lemonade.
Ooh. We have a show where we talk about this stuff. You guys should watch it. Links.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just segue right into it. So head on over there. Side Jag is next. So have a great night. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.